Hi, it's Ray, and I made a video about what I eat in a day and my secret to staying fit and healthy. This is a day of eating when I am eating to maintain my weight. If I wanted to lose some body fat, I would need to be in a calorie deficit, and I would also increase the amount of steps I walk in a day. When I did my competition prep, I had to track my food, and I learnt about macronutrients and how adjusting these affected my fat loss alongside calorie intake. Macronutrients, also known as macros, are nutrients that the body uses in relatively large amounts and therefore needs to receive daily. There are 3 macronutrients: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Counting macros is similar to counting calories, but differs in that it considers where the calories come from. I will leave a link to a free macro calculator in the description, and you can get an idea of what macros your body needs. So what is my secret to staying fit and healthy? My secret is to meal prep. Meal prepping is the art of planning and preparing your meals or parts of meals ahead of time, with the intention of saving time, sometimes money, and having access to healthy meals. There is no right or wrong way to do it, whatever works best for you and your schedule. You just need some containers and some time dedicated to prep. If I was starting again, I would not use plastic containers, but as it is kinder to the planet, I will keep using them. Even an hour can set you up for success for the week ahead. Every Sunday we prep vegetables for Monday through to Friday, and then when we come to cook in the evening, we can just throw the veg in the wok and cook a one-pan meal, adding whatever protein source we choose for that day. On the days I am at home, I only prep my dinner. Even prepping just one meal ahead will give you the benefits of meal prepping, I promise. On days I am going out, I will prep food to take for the day. I also focus on eating colourful and less processed foods, eating plenty of vegetables and eating balanced meals, meaning that they contain fats, carbs and proteins that we talked about, and making sure I get plenty of fibre. I eat quite simply. I tend to make meals from foods I like rather than follow recipes. I will eat the same things most days, but always add diversity with my vegetables, pulses and beans. I try to avoid highly processed foods as they are addictive, and instead of just having one biscuit out of a packet, I would want to eat the whole packet. Overeating will result in taking too many calories and lead to a weight increase. So I just don't eat them. And once you stop eating them, you find you no longer crave them. I like to save sweet treats for when I eat out and I'm ordering just a portion. My morning routine starts with water. I always start my day with a pint of warm water. I aim to drink at least 8 pints of water a day. Drinking plenty of water has so many health benefits, and it helps suppress hunger too. A good tip is to drink a glass of water before every meal. I then do a few mobility exercises to start the day. I like to have a morning routine, and these simple acts soon turn into habits. Now it's time for coffee. I make a pot of coffee and have a black coffee whilst checking emails before getting in the shower and ready for the day. When I drink a cup of coffee, I have a pint of water chaser to rehydrate me. Breakfast is my favourite meal of the day, and I like to cook chocolate porridge with porridge oats and chocolate protein powder. I use water and cook them in the microwave. I like my oats quite thick. For a while, I was eating a plant-based diet, but I have now added some dairy back in, and here I am using whey protein. I just want to talk briefly about intermittent fasting. I have been doing intermittent fasting for 3 years now. Intermittent fasting is not a diet, it is an eating pattern. It doesn't restrict you in how much you should be eating, but it does restrict you in when you should be eating. It's harder to overeat if all your daily calories are crammed into an 8-hour window than if you spread them out over 15 to 16 hours. I am happy to drink black coffee whilst I'm in my fasting window, but I wouldn't add milk. At the moment, I am starting my eating window at 11 a.m. and then I eat all my calories for 8 consecutive hours, so my eating window ends at 7 p.m. I also like to eat 5 or 6 times a day, rather than eat the traditional breakfast, lunch and dinner. My second meal of the day is rice cakes with peanut butter and a protein shake with almond milk, using pea protein powder this time. I have found 2 vegan protein powders which I love, and I will link them for you in the description. For my third meal today, I am making a filled pita bread with poi lentils, hummus, blueberries, cucumber and spring onions. I really like these pita breads because they don't have added sugar. Some pitas do have added sugar, so check the ingredients before you buy. Warburton's do an easy to fill wholemeal soft pita which has sugar. It seems the more convenient a food is, the more likely it is to have sugar added. I will then have a snack. I have a sweet tooth, but because I find highly processed foods like cakes and biscuits addictive, I have found an alternative. Greek yogurt with banana and toffee flavouring. It reminds me of a banoffee pie. This toffee flavouring is calorie-free, but it does contain sweeteners. I discovered it when I was prepping for my bodybuilding competition and wanted something sweet. I have a 250 gram portion of yogurt, which is half the tub, and with the other half I add chia seeds to have later in the day or the next day. I love the way the chia seeds turn chewy after they have soaked for a while. Other good healthy snacks which are quite sweet and I enjoy are sugar snap peas and cherry tomatoes. You've seen me already prep the veg for the week, so when it comes to cooking dinner, it is quick and easy. I use a 1-pan method to cook dinner, starting with some frozen veg. Peas and broad beans are my favourites. Doing this means I don't need to use any oil. And then I add the ready prepared veg and some pink Himalayan salt. Put on the lid and let them cook for about 20 minutes, stirring regularly. Adding plenty of fibre into your diet is so important, and I try to be diverse in my choice of vegetables and legumes and eat both cooked and raw veg. For our protein source, we use tofu, tempeh or textured soya protein. We often eat our tofu without cooking it, but I really like scrambled tofu and will just scramble it in with the veg as I cook them. If I was counting macros, I wouldn't do this as I would need to weigh the amount I am eating. One night a week, we will add in noodles, one night a jacket potato and one night an avocado. We top our dinner with kefir yogurt, Engevita yeast and pink Himalayan salt if needed. Engevita yeast is a brilliant vegan protein choice and is often used to replace cheese in recipes. If I'm still hungry after dinner, I will have the Greek yogurt I made earlier in the day with chia seeds. And the last thing I will eat is a piece or two of dark chocolate. I love chocolate and switch to dark chocolate as I don't find it addictive, so I can eat just a small amount at one time. It may take a while to get used to the taste, but it is worth it if you struggle with overeating chocolate. I will always check the first ingredient is cocoa mass or cocoa solids and not sugar. It is worth mentioning here that although whole foods are obviously good for us, that doesn't mean processed foods are bad for us. Technically speaking, if a food is transformed in any way, it's considered processed. Just steaming vegetables makes them processed. I add a link to an interesting study in the description. The truth about processed versus unprocessed foods. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, live yourself young.